Oh my god, 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 oh my god! Hello people of the internet, it's Jenny, and today I'm going to be talking about this brick here, which is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, the last installment in the Mortal Instruments, and it came out like 2 days ago, and this is massive. Look at this. This is massive. It has like 700 something pages, but to be fair, the font is huge. Like, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of bright right now, but if you use regular book font, it would probably condense down to like 500 pages, but still, it's huge. This video is going to be spoilery for this book and for the rest of the Mortal Instruments, and if you don't know what the Mortal Instruments is about, please just go on to Goodreads because I don't have the time to explain this here because this video is going to be long enough as it is. It will probably also be spoilery for the Infernal devices because this book has a lot of Infernal devices elements in it, so yeah. One thing that's always bugged me about TMI is how annoying Clary was, and in this book, all the characters are suddenly super mature, in a good way. Like, I really like the way how they acted, but it's not consistent character development, but I'm not gonna complain because like, in the past books, Clary, not Carrie, who's Carrie, was so useless, and she was just like standing on the side getting knocked out, or just, I don't know, she turned a bit badass in City of Lost Souls, but she was still pretty whiny, and in this one, she's so different. I feel like there's a lot of Tessa flowing into her, and I personally really like it because her character is just so much more bearable, and Jace is more open and not as much as, oh my god, I need to save the world all by myself, I need to be the martyr, and Alec is super wise. Like, his relationship, or his non-existent relationship with Magnus, he takes it very well, even though he does have heartbreak, but he's not, you know, being illogical about it, which I really appreciate it. I'm gonna put this down now because even though it's not that heavy, I don't want to, like, it gets tiring after some time. Overall, I really enjoyed the book. The first half was a bit repetitive because it was about, you know, them trying to find Sebastian attacking them getting like a setback, and then again attack, setback, attack, blah blah blah. But the second half was just so good. Especially like the last 3 chapters and that epilogue. I was just like, oh my god, all those feels. I just can't. I was really happy about the fact that Cassandra Clare focused on like the crew instead of all the side characters and the Clave, because I wasn't really interested in their storyline. I mean, okay, the Praetor got slaughtered, Jordan died, but to be honest, I didn't really care about Jordan. What I did really like is that Emma and Julian from the Dark Artifices were incorporated into the story, and I initially thought that they were only going to be appearing in the prologue and then they would just like kind of disappear, but I really liked that they appeared throughout the story. She set up a lot in her book, and she plugged a lot of her stories. Like, she plugged everything in this book. She set up the storyline for Dark Artifices, she partly set up the storyline for the Last Hours, she definitely plugged the Bane Chronicles, and she also plugged the Shadowhunter Codex, so I'm not annoyed by it because it actually makes sense in the context of the story, but I caught on to that. The Clave annoyed the hell out of me. They just don't learn from their mistakes. Why? Like, why don't you just listen to the people who are always right? The people who know your enemy, and why do you have to antagonize all the downworlders when you know that you need their help? Like, they have experience. That's why the new Accords exist. And I understand that a lot of people might be, oh my god, the fairies, they killed all the people. But it was Sebastian. And then those kids that they sent away, Mark and Helen, they're shadow hunters. How can you, like, not... Oh, so much anger. Oh, brother Zachariah. Oh my god, whenever he came into play, whenever he talked to anybody, whether it was Jace or Emma or Clary or Tessa, I was just like, it brought out so many feels, so many Will Herondale feels, and I was just like, Will, I want to have Will. And it made me want to reread the Infernal Devices so badly. And the way how the novel ended, I'm really excited to see if they appear in the Dark Artifices, because it kind of seems like that, like Tessa and Jem. So I really hope so. And hey, oh, Oh, and I don't know if you guys have that, but after I finished reading the novel, I realized like my book comes with the poster, but it also comes with a short graphic novel / comic strip, which is called The Wedding, and it has the wedding of Jem and Tessa on the Blackfriars Bridge, and oh my god, like it's only 4 pages long, but oh my god, these Zechariah chapters, they literally killed me. Like I was just slayed on the ground. I need my man, Will Herondale. What I really appreciated about Cassandra Clare's writing is the different kind of topics that she incorporates into her stories. For example, acceptance of homosexuality or rape culture. And she handled both of these really nicely in these books, especially in this book after Sebastian tried to rape Clare, and then afterwards Clare and Jace start talking, and she's like, I don't want you to think less of me, and Jace is reassuring her like, you're perfect and nothing that anybody else can do to you can make me see you in a different way. One thing that I thought was slightly strange, I mean, okay, I get it, we've been waiting for Clare and Jace to have sex for a long time. Let's be honest here, okay? We're all dirty here. But why does she put her main characters in the weirdest situations to have sex? They're in the demon realm, trying to kill Sebastian. Jace has heavenly fire in his body when he goes into the demon realm. He has no idea how to control it. He doesn't want to touch Clare more than necessary. And then they couldn't have anticipated that his fire would, you know, like vanish. But they have sex in a cave, and I know that Cassandra Clare is trying to promote safe sex and protected sex, but why does he have a condom? Like, what? Bring the essentials, bring a condom? Like, and it's the same thing with Will and Tessa. They're locked up in Mortmaid's evil automaton prison, and they just decide to have sex even though he could walk in like every single moment. Like, what? Why can't these characters just have intimate moments in normal circumstances? I guess that's just part of being a Shadowhunter. Shadowhunter life. Having sex in weird places at a weird moment. Maureen is batshit crazy. You get it? Batshit crazy. But I really don't understand how she managed to kill Camille in the last book, and how she managed to become leader of the vampire coven. She's like a 12-year-old on crack, and they just let her do whatever. Like, she was so easy to take down. How the hell did she manage to kill Camille? I'm still, like, I'm partly convinced that Camille is not dead, that she just kind of left because she didn't want to put up with all the Sebastian stuff. But still, how? Tell me, anybody explain to me, how did she kill Camille? Like, how? One thing that I didn't expect was Brother Zechariah to get cured so early on in the book, because obviously it was like the cliffhanger of Clockwork Princess, and we were all waiting for it, and it was partly the reason why I actually wanted to read this book, because I was kind of getting a little bit tired of the TMI, but overall this book was really great. I really loved it. And the talk that Brother Zechariah had with Jace, and every time they mentioned Herondale, and when they go into the demon realm, my brain immediately went to like, oh, this is like House of Hades. They're going through hell, everything's desolate, they're in like this dead landscape. And the thing with the dead Alicante and the parallel, kind of like parallel world, parallel shadow hunters, that was super creepy because it hit so close to home. It was so close to what would have happened or what was about to happen in like the real world. So I was reading this and I was just like, no. But I really enjoyed the second part a lot more than the first part, because it just gave the whole entire story a very different feel. It felt totally different than the rest, the whole entire TMI series, and I think that part was great. I just don't really understand Sebastian, because I understand that he might have wanted to rule the actual world because there were people in it and there was something that he could destroy, but then they kind of just went like, okay, let's just rule Edom because everything's already dead, but I can control everything, but there's nothing to control because everything that's there you already control, which is the Dark Shadow Hunters and maybe the 5 people that you imprisoned there. It's just like, why? Like, if I were Sebastian, I would go for the real world. I would bring fire and flood and plague to the real world, because if I want destruction, I want to go for total annihilation and not for some kind of dead, dried up planet. Raphael dying, yeah. And then in like chapter 22 for a sec, or 23 for a second, we all thought that Magnus was gonna die, and my heart just like dropped a beat, and I was like, if Magnus dies, I'm going to punch my book. Like, I'm gonna punch my book and throw it out the window, because Magnus cannot die. How can you kill Magnus? But then what happened afterwards was probably equally as bad. When Simon offered himself, I was like, oh my god, Simon, you are the man. You always come to the rescue, whenever, wherever. Like, that's who he has been since he's become like a daylighter, and I love that about Simon. But then when the demon was like, I'm gonna take away all your memories, I was like, no, that's worse than dying. He will remember them, and like, all the people, they will know him, but he would just look at them and he would never remember them, and that would be like the saddest, and they can't tell him because he will be mundane again. That would be the saddest thing ever. The saddest thing ever. And I was just like, no, this is terrible. Like, I was so angry. I just wanted, Simon wasn't my favorite character throughout a lot of the series, but then in this book particularly, I really liked Simon. I was just like, why? Why do you have to take Simon away from us? Like, why? Why are you doing? That was basically my whole entire thought throughout like the last 3 chapters. I was just like, why? Why? And then the other thing that just totally killed me was when Clare stabbed Sebastian and he turned into Jonathan, and he was like talking and he had green eyes, and you're starving and somebody puts like the most delicious cake in front of you and takes it away after 2 seconds and throws it into the garbage can. That's what happened, basically. You get a glimpse of this perfect boy who would have been so perfect probably, but then he just dies. And what I didn't understand though was why Jocelyn was hating on Sebastian so much. Like, I understand because, you know, she realized that this wasn't her son, this was a monster, but then she gave birth to him, so I felt like I thought she would have felt more conflicted, a little bit more conflicted at least. I was like, no, Cassandra Clare, why are you doing this to me? You make me hate Sebastian for like 4 books, and then you bring me Jonathan and force me to like him, and then you take him away. You get to the epilogue. The epilogue where you see Simon forgetting all of them. I think Cassandra Clare just needs a happy end, because he starts to remember again, and he's offered a chance to become a shadow hunter. I did not see that coming at all. Right now, I just really want to know how Simon as a shadow hunter is doing. I hope they all appear, at least as side characters, in the Dark Artifices, so we kind of get to see what the future brings. The wedding of Jocelyn and Luke, and Tessa being there, and Jem and Jace playing the piano, and them reminiscing about old times, about Will Herondale. I just couldn't. I was just like, why are you doing this to me, Cassandra Clare? Why? It wasn't even a sad epilogue, but I was so close to tears. I really want to read the Dark Artifices now. The series overall had its ups and downs, but I really enjoyed reading it. They're super fast paced. They're just a super fun read. The world is so interesting, and I just can't wait to read the next Shadowhunter book. What about you guys? Please tell me what you thought about this series, what you thought about this book. Did you see things coming? Did you not see things coming? What did you think about the characters? The last couple of chapters and the epilogue, did they kill you as much as they killed me? Just leave comments down below. I will be gushing and fangirling with you guys. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.